You want to do what with my zombies? Hello everybody, after a very, very long break, let's get back into the story and the next chapter of the Stormwreck Heroes.
Cleric, magician, rogue, paladin, fighter, with the dice in your favor, your glory glows brighter. When human, dwarf, elves, and a halfling unite, with trust and loyalty, they stand and fight.
We continue our story in Dragonrest, where our heroes are sleeping safe and sound, and very vivid dreams come to them. Foreshadowing, ooh. Or backshadowing? In any case, Eladrin dreams about a time when she was just a kid and growing up in the streets. She used to have a friend that she played with. This friend was a little bit older than her, and she dreams about the time they were playing with dice. Eladrin, of course, tries to cheat, and he scolds her about that. She only returns a very mischievous grin. When she sees that he rolled pretty low, she's very excited because she knows she's gonna win. But while she is staring at the die, the points on the die change. She is furious because she knows that he is using magic to change the die and to cheat himself. So she tries to run after him and get her revenge for him now being the cheater. She screams, "Yimek! I'm going to get you!" And we only see how it fades to black. Next, we see Arodir's dreams. He sees, like through a fog, two dragons fighting against each other. A blue dragon and a bronze dragon. There's a strong sense of magic all around him. The blue dragon says, "I don't want to kill you, Aranor," but the bronze dragon attacks once more. Everything seems to get blurry, and then it's unclear what we are seeing. Maybe there's two dragons, maybe there's more. Suddenly, we hear a scream full of pain, and then it's just darkness. Thrallin also dreams about a couple she has never seen before. They seem to be saying goodbye to each other at a pier, and there's a chest with strange symbols on it. The young man begs her to stay, but she says, I just can't. And so he takes an amulet off his pockets and gives it to her. She opens it and sees that there's a picture of both of them together. She holds it very near to her chest. He tells her, "It's for you to remember me. Please promise me you'll come back to me." And she says, "I promise it to you by everything that is holy." He smirks and says, "Well, what about the unholy?" She has to laugh, and she says, "Also by the unholy." And she kisses him. Tibor dreams about a time when his sister and him were just childs and playing catch. He's running away from her, but then suddenly he trips over and falls, and his knee starts bleeding. He starts to cry, but his sister comes and comforts him. She says, "Don't worry, this will just be a scar, like the brave knights always have." "You're also a brave knight, aren't you?" He nods silently. She washes the cut and bandages it, and at the end, she also gives him some sweets. She says, "Is it all better now?" And he nods again. "Good. So now you will catch me." She laughs and runs away. He tries to run after her, but she's just too fast. He runs and runs, but she is getting farther and farther away. Suddenly, there's a boar, some wolves, and a scaled monster also chasing behind her. He tries screaming and telling her to be careful, but she doesn't hear anything. And she also doesn't see that just in front of her there's a precipice. He can see how she runs towards the precipice, falls down, and then there's just darkness. Our heroes wake up they don't feel as well rested as they had hoped to be. They're pretty much confused by their dreams. But they prepare themselves, gather everything they need to go to the Compassrose. Eladrin wakes up in the lazaret, where Tarak was taking care of her. Kilnip is also there, and he's very excited. He knows that the heroes have saved him, not only by healing his wounds, but also because they brought the mushroom that was needed to counteract the disease that the zombies had inflicted on him. He wants to go with them to prove that he is also a brave hero. But Eladrin says, no, that's way too dangerous, you cannot come. But he really wants to come. He wants to impress Rix, another young kobold. And so he continues pestering Eladrin for a chance to go with them. So, you cannot come with us, but it's because I actually have a super important mission for you. I need you to, I need you to go and every morning, every midday, and every evening, go to the sculpture where the dragonstone is embedded in and check on it and see if everything's all right. Can you do that for us? Excellent. He agrees on that and is very proud that he got such an important task from the heroes. After that, our heroes take Tarak's rowing boat and go to the Compassrose with it. Tibor is very strong and he does such a great job at rowing that they get there much faster than they had anticipated. Once they are there, they see that the ship is a complete wreck. But they can see that there's some ropes hanging down one of the sides of the ship, so they decide to climb up those ropes. Of course, Tibor is as dexterous as you would expect from a tin can, and he falls into the water. But with some help of his friends, they all manage to go onto the ship. On the deck of the ship, they see that there's a broken ballista and a broken mast and a still intact crow's nest. Tibor climbs up there, and between some debris and some small bones, he finds a golden bracelet. Other than that, they don't see much of interest, so they decide to search in the rooms of the ship. Clearly, the room they entered are the captain's quarters, and there are 3 zombies lurking there. Because Tibor, as a competent tank, entered the room first, he gets attacked by the first zombie, and the zombie manages to bite him. He is lucky enough that he doesn't get poisoned by this bite. But there's a second zombie attacking him from the other side. He is now surrounded, and he is getting in some trouble. Luckily enough, Arodir comes from behind and attacks the zombies with his mighty thunderclap and pushes them to the other side of the room with some furniture as well. The zombies fall over the furniture and take some time until they can get back up. This gives our heroes the chance to attack the zombies with all their might. They are actually able to kill the zombies in a very short amount of time and without taking much damage themselves. Woohoo! Yay! They go to the other room that is on the other side of the deck, which apparently are the sailors' quarters. They see many beds and some nightstands, and in some of them they find some gold coins. On the last nightstand, just in front of the last nightstand, there is a big hole in the floor, so they have to be a little bit careful there. Come, fall into my trap. The rogue Eladrin dexterously crawls herself just on the side of the hole to get to the nightstand. Dexterity, 17. She manages to get to the nightstand, and she finds some gold coins, but also a letter with a very cheesy poem on it. It says, "You are my sun, you are the stars that light my night, mysterious as the moon, my beautiful butterfly." But not done yet with this room. They want to see what is actually underneath them. So Thrallin decides to lay herself down and crawl to the edge of this hole and look down and see what she can see. She sees that there are zombies lurking around on the floor just below her, but they are outside of their immediate range. I have an idea. I want to use some of the meat of our rations and tie a rope around it and then lower it down to use as a type of fishing rod for the zombies to lure them to come closer. Can I do that? You want to do what with my zombies? I don't see why you shouldn't be able to do that. I really don't. Thralden lowers her fishing rod, and after a little bit of time, the zombie goes to the meat and sniffs it and tries to get a bite of it. Holy flames! The zombie is hurt, so he backs away, but the truth is, he's kind of slow, and also he cannot do anything from down there, so... I do have advantage from up here, so I can use sneak attack, right? Ice attack. I attack with my spear. Okay, good. So, you killed the zombie. This was Sam. And when Sam was alive, his biggest dream was to be a sailor, to see different worlds, different countries, different cultures, and to learn about them. But he was a little bit chubby and not very athletic, so he always got bullied, and no one believed that he could actually make it as a sailor. But finally, he achieved his dream, and he was a sailor on the Compassrose, where finally he felt like his destiny was becoming true. And then he became a zombie, and now you killed him. I hope you're happy with yourself. Kinda, yeah. Now our heroes can't see any more zombies, so they go back on deck where they see that there's a little trapdoor and a rope ladder that they can use to climb down there. But before they climb down there... Okay, wait. Before we go down, let's roll in the rope ladder, and I want to use my fishing rod once more. I don't know why you shouldn't be able to do that. This time, 2 zombies approach and try to eat the meat on the fishing rod. And one of the zombies gets killed pretty quickly by our heroes. This was Phineas. He was a sailor, but his true passion was the music. He had such a sweet voice, and he sang for his companions very often. He wanted to collect as many melodies and songs as he could throughout their travels, and one time become then the greatest bard that ever lived. And now you killed him! The other zombie is able to flee and to hide from our heroes, so they decide to go down with the rope ladder and finish the job. Once they are down there, they see that there's also a ghoul that was hiding from them the whole time, and now he attacks Thralden and tries to paralyze her. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Freaking hell. And fails. The fight gets a little bit more dangerous now for our heroes because the ghoul is actually quite a dangerous foe. But still, with some teamwork, they managed to finish off both foes at once. And now they're completely in the calm in this underdeck of the ship. Okay, DM, tell us, what's the tragic backstory of the last zombie? Oh, no. That was Steve. He was an asshole. After the fight, they see that in this room there's also a hole in the floor, and they can see that underneath that there's a room that is completely filled with water. Thralden is a little bit scared, but still she gathers all her bravery and climbs down there and submerges her into the water. After a little while she finds the chest that she saw in her dreams, and with some rope and some team effort, they managed to get the chest back up there again. And they investigate the chest and see how it looks. It is strange because they can see different symbols that are on them. It's the same symbols that she also saw on her dreams, so she knows that this is the same chest. These symbols are a wave, a butterfly, a shell, a moon, a sun, and some stars. And after a while, Tibor remembers the poem that they read before, and he sees that there's the same symbols on this chest. And so they press the right symbols in the right order, and the chest actually opens. As the chest opens, there's a ghost coming out, and Thrallin recognizes the young woman that she saw in her dreams. At first, Alitha is very standoffish and doesn't really want to talk with our heroes. She says she cannot tell them what they want to know. What she did was just too horrible, and she will keep her secret forever. You don't need to be ashamed. Whatever you did, I am sure you did it for love. The ghost of Alitha nods as she looks at Tibor, and finally she tells them, I did do it for love. When we were traveling back, I got sick, very sick, and I was worried I was not gonna make it. Imagining going from this world without seeing him once more, breaking my promise, I just couldn't bear it. And so, with the amulet he gave me as a talisman, I prayed to the god Orcus. I begged him to keep me alive until I was reunited with him. I told him I would give everything. I would give myself and everyone on the ship just for the chance to be with him again. And the god listened. I wish he didn't. He tricked me. He kept us all in this monstrous form and kept us feeding off of every shipwreck that came our way, multiplying the zombies. And this curse will go on because I am not reunited with my love. Our heroes understand what they need to do to lift the curse. They need to bring Alitha's soul, that is now hidden in the amulet that her love gave to her, back to him. He is now resting in the cemetery in the Stormwreck Isle. They go back up deck and now find themselves a new challenge. There are 2 harpies flying back to the ship. They start singing and enchant Arodir and Eladrin. And so now only Thrallin and Tibor try to attack this evil monsters. Eladrin is actually attacked by the other harpy and then falls down and is completely knocked down. Thankfully, Arodir is able to wake from his stupor and help the others in their attack, because his magic is pretty helpful against these flying creatures, and it's pretty difficult for them otherwise to attack them because they often get out of range. Now they understand that the ballista could be very, very helpful against them. So Tibor goes to the ballista and tries to fix it while the other ones are fighting for their lives. The fight becomes very tense. Thrallin manages to heal Eladrin just in time before she actually dies. And they are fighting with all they can, but these 2 harpies are very, very dangerous and they keep on attacking them. Eladrin falls back unconscious and cannot help them anymore. And so they start singing again and try to enchant the others, but they are now better prepared, so they are able to not succumb to this enchantment. They fight them and finally the ballista is done and ready to attack them. So together they aim at it, and this ballista does a lot of damage and at a great range, so they are able to get to hurt them pretty good. And after a while they manage to kill one of the harpies, and it doesn't take them too long after that to actually finish off the second one. But it was a very, very tough fight, and they are quite at the end of their strength. Once the fight is over, Finally, Throlin can go to Eladrin again and heal her and wake her up. Are you alright? You really scared me. I was afraid that you were not gonna make it. You know, I'm actually really grateful that you are still with us, fighting with us and helping us. I mean, perhaps you might think that you don't really have much reason to do it anymore now that your zombie disease is healed and everything, but you still are, and that's really great. I don't know, I sometimes feel like it's hard for you to see us as your team or as your friends, but I hope you understand that we really do want that. We want to help you when you are in need, and I hope that you will also help us when we are in need and see us as your team. Eladrin is visibly moved by what Throlin has said. She nods, and a single tear runs down her cheek, so she turns away before Throlin can see it, and she moves away a few steps, just trying to gather herself a little bit by what just happened. She has never been with a group of people that were this kind and caring towards each other, so she really is a little bit overwhelmed by all this. The group notices this, and so they give her a little bit of space and just chat amongst each other. And after a while, Eladrin breathes and then collects herself and goes back and yells at them. Are you coming or what? They returned to the Stormwreck Isle, and they find the place where Aletha's loved one is buried. It's a little cemetery, and they feel that is a very, very peaceful place where nothing bad could ever happen. After a little while, they find the place where he was buried, and they put down Aletha's amulet with her soul. In that moment, the ghost disappears. There's a swooshing in the air, a little sparkle that they can sense, and a sigh of relief unfolding them. After that, our heroes can rest and have the most peaceful night they ever had. They sleep so gently and so comfortably they could not believe they were just outside at a cemetery. In that night, Throlin has another dream, but this one is not as dark as the dreams that had brought her to the Stormwreck Isle. She now sees the Stormwreck Isle once more, but the darkness that was everywhere in her dreams is now slowly dissipating, and after a while, sun rays are coming through the darkness and a new morning begins, and she knows that she has done good by her god. Victorious and filled with pride, they make their way back to Dragonrest. But once they approach, they see that something is very wrong. There is smoke coming out of the town, and so they have to hurry back and see what has happened while they were gone. And this is where we will finish the chapter today, and we will have to find out what exactly has occurred the next time. If you've watched until the end, thank you so much. That means so much to me. And if you liked it, then please let me know in the comments as well. And if you didn't like it, then also let me know in the comments. And please think about if perhaps you want to follow as well. I know I've been slacking on uploading this type of videos, but they're just so much work for me. Now, I do hope that I will have a little bit more of time to do them and to edit them. So I hope I will be uploading them a little bit more frequently. And after I finish off this series, I will definitely keep on talking about Dungeons and Dragons and RPG and how it was DMing and everything. I have a new campaign going on right now, so hopefully there will be more stories to tell in the future. So yeah, if you like this, then please think about subscribing, and I hope to see you very soon. Bye!